Hi, I'm Bryce from CPAP Direct. In this video, we're going to cover your very first night using CPAP, what you can expect, and what are the things that you can do to ensure that you have a great start to your CPAP journey. So in order to understand that, let's first understand how you got here in the first place. How did you get here in the first place? If you're anything like me and the thousands of people that we treat, it started with snoring. Now, I was in denial, right? Because I always said that I don't snore when I'm alone. It's just when my wife is here, or my girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife. She wasn't really buying that kind of scenario at all. So when I realized I had a problem, I didn't want to be that guy, right? So I did everything I could to try and stop snoring. I used chin straps. I stuck stuff up my nose. I even tried the boil and bite mouth guards from the chemist. Nothing really worked, and I was still tired during the day. I was still fatigued, and my wife, or my girlfriend at the time, but my now wife, was still frustrated. One day, she gave me an ultimatum. She said, if you don't do something about that, you're going to be on the spare room for the rest of your life. I'm lucky I even got married, right? So I went to the GP, I got a referral, went and had a sleep study. And I was blown away when I saw the results. And they told me that I stopped breathing 28 times an hour. I'm like, how am I even alive if I stop breathing 28 times an hour? I soon came to the realization that I needed to start CPAP therapy. And my initial reaction was, I was afraid. I was afraid of what that meant, because I was afraid that I was going over to the dark side. In reality, it's not that bad. So let's go through what you can expect when you are starting your CPAP journey. I'm going to cover a few things that you can do to set yourself up for success when you're starting your CPAP journey. The first thing is to make sure that you have the right mindset. Now, for some people, they take to it like a duck to water. That happened with me. From my very first night using CPAP, I was aware of it the first night, but the next day when I woke up, I go, yeah, I feel all right. And then after lunch, when I would normally have that really deathly tired kind of dip in energy, I actually found it really easy to push through, and I still felt all right. And at 10 o'clock that night, I still felt all right. So I'm like, this is great. I can do something with my day because I felt productive. Merv Hughes, who's our brand ambassador, he experienced the same thing. In fact, with his sleep study, he stopped breathing 76 times an hour. So you can imagine how he felt, right? Getting on CPAP for both of us was completely life-changing, and we were used to it straight away. That's not necessarily the norm, because everybody's different. Some people will take 3 weeks, some people will take 6 weeks, some people will take longer than that. I think the right mindset is that you need to be prepared that it's going to take a while for you to get used to it. So have that long-term thinking. Don't think it's going to be a quick fix. If it is, that's great. If not, then that's fine as well. Just have that mindset that you're going to take between 3 to 6 weeks for your body to get used to wearing this at night. Once you accept it mentally, you'll be excited to go to bed every night. And you know what? I can't sleep without it right now. So the first step is to have the right mindset. The second step is to make sure that you've been set up for success. This means being set up properly with a clinician that knows what they're talking about. There are so many settings in a device, even an automatic one. It's important that the person that set the device up for you either followed the script from the sleep physician, or if there is no script from the sleep physician, that they analyze you physiologically and that they have got the right settings for your own comfort levels. And that's one of the benefits of having someone that sets you up that has first-hand experience using the device, because how can someone help you get through this journey if they haven't experienced it themselves? The next thing is to make sure that your machine is set up and ready to go. You've got water in the humidifier, your device is in the right placement. When I say right placement, it actually depends on what type of mask you have. If you have a mask where the tube goes right into the front of the mask and it's like a frontal air delivery, then I personally like to have the machine on the floor next to my bed instead of on the bedside tables. There's a few reasons for this. The first one is that if the machine is lower and on the floor, it actually makes less noise. Now they're virtually silent anyway, but sometimes you can hear a bit of a breathing noise through it, and if it's away from ear level, then it's not going to disturb you, but more importantly, it's not going to disturb your partner either. Another reason why you'd have it on the floor floor and not on the bedside table is because you can't roll over and pull it off the bedside table and have it smash everywhere with water going everywhere. Now that doesn't normally happen anyway because there's 1.8 meters of tube. It's just safer on the floor if you can have it there. So I normally have my machine on the floor about waist level with the tube coming up into bed, and I can basically lie on my side and cuddle the tube. If you have a mask that connects at the top of the head, like any of the I series masks from ResMed or the Dreamwear masks from Philips, a lot of people prefer to have the machine on the bedside table because then they can tuck the tube around behind the pillow, and that means there's nothing obstructing their sleep and they don't get tangled up in any way, shape or form. The next step is to make sure that you have fresh water in your humidifier. The golden rule about humidifiers is to make sure that you put fresh water in at night and then you empty it out the next day. I personally use boiled water out of the kettle, which is room temperature. You can use filtered water, distilled water, but the important thing is that you have fresh water to start with. You don't want to have the device sitting there with water in it all day because things grow in the water, and this is an environment where the air passes over the top of the water to pick up humidity as the air goes through the tube into your mask. So it's important that you start with a nice clean environment and make sure that your humidifier is nice and clean and has fresh water every night. The tube. If you have your machine on the floor next to you, then it's important to have all of the tube in bed with you but under the covers. The reason I say under the covers is because if the tube is on top of the covers, there is a tendency for the tube to slide off the blankets and then pull on your mask, which can cause mask leak and an unhappy partner. If you have all of the tube under the covers with you, you can lie on your side and cuddle the tube. Everything is in the bed with you underneath the covers and you're not going to have any tension on your mask causing mask leak. If you have the machine on the side of the bed because you have a mask that connects at the top of the head, make sure there's plenty of tube length there so you can tuck it in behind the pillow, you can roll around in bed and you're not going to get yourself tangled up. The next step is about lying on your side. If you can lie on your side or you're a side sleeper, it's always best to lie on your side with a pillow in between your knees. This is great because it keeps your spine in alignment and it is great for your posture while you're sleeping. When you lie on your side, also make sure you have a really supportive pillow that can be tucked in really nice and tight to your neck so that your head and neck are really, really well supported. So head and neck supported, pillow in between your knees, the tube underneath the covers, cuddle the tube, lying on your side, and breathe in and out as slowly as you can to really get the feel when the device is turned on. This will make you super relaxed. When you're lying in bed this way and you want to roll on your back or roll on your side, you can do that. Just keep your knees together so you take the pillow with you as you move from side to back to side to back to side to back. Nice and easy. The last thing is to be excited. Be excited about how you can feel once you finally get your mojo back. You stop snoring, your partner's happy, you're not tired and grumpy during the day. It's life-changing stuff. Most people experience these kind of benefits from CPAP. Don't get me wrong, some people are on CPAP, they don't feel any different at all. However, they're in a much lower risk of stroke, heart attack, and a lot of the other health complications that come with CPAP. The benefit is when you can really feel the benefit, and that's when you really get excited about going to bed. For most people that are already on CPAP that are watching this video, I'm sure most of them will agree with me that they can't live without it now, and they're totally hooked because it just makes going to bed awesome. I hope this video has helped. If you have any other questions, you want to reach out to the CPAP Direct crew, hit us up on cpap.com.au, call our support line or drop into any of our stores. We're Australia-wide, we're family owned, and we're here to help.